Montage Healdsburg has now sold all 25 of its $5.5 million to $7.5 million harvest homes in less than a year. The question is, have all the buyers got sucked into buying overpriced real estate, or will Montage residences prove to be one of the best investments in Healdsburg real estate? So with all the harvest homes sold, there are still nearly 30 Montage home sites still available. So is building a custom home in the Montage Resort a good choice for somebody looking to build a home in Healdsburg? Or at nearly $2 million per lot, will it be decades before you see the real value, if ever? If you are thinking of investing in Healdsburg, but not sure if investing in Montage is a smart choice compared to investing in downtown or in a rural property in Dry Creek Valley, if you stay to the end of this video, I'll tell you which I think will be the worst and which I think will be the best investments in years to come. My name is David Hargreaves. I'm one of the top 5 agents in Healdsburg who, over the past 2 years, has worked with over 50 people, just like you, from the Bay Area and beyond, to buy and sell homes, as well as lots in Healdsburg and the surrounding area. But less about me. Let's dive into Montage Healdsburg and find out what all the hype is about. If you have spent time in Healdsburg, but not made a special trip to Montage, you'll probably never have seen it. It's tucked right on the north edge of town, on the right-hand side of the road as you're heading up towards Alexander Valley on the north end of Healdsburg Avenue. The site for the development, it is a stunning 258 acres, which used to be owned by the Sebastopol family. The main features of the site are the old oak groves and rolling terrain alongside 15.5 acres of its own planted vineyards, which give the whole place, a really special feel. The development has got 3 parts to it. You've got the hotel and spa, the residences, and the home sites. So first, let's talk about the hotel and spa. In total, there are 130 guest rooms and suites set on the 258 acres, which cost approximately $1,000 per night, depending on the room and the season. So it's definitely a case for a special occasion versus, a casual weekend away, certainly in my world anyway. So rather than being a traditional hotel, the rooms are all modern bungalows that are freestanding with, 1 or 2 units per building, which does give plenty of privacy and space, around each of the rooms. And if you have followed any of my blogs or videos, I definitely love architecture that brings nature into the home through the large glass walls and doors. And Montage Healdsburg hotel rooms definitely have that feel about them. The landscape does feel like it's been delicately preserved with the development of Montage, very much trying to make sure that most of the 20,000 plus oak trees, will continue to thrive in that environment. All the rooms have a very Northern California feel with modern clean lines, with lots of light wood, sliding doors, and expansive cantilevered patios with, private fire pits. In terms of the eating options, the main restaurant is the Hazel Hill restaurant, which is the higher end restaurant. But then there's also the Scout Field Bar, which is a great casual dining option. Both dining options connect seamlessly with a large patio area that takes advantage of the pleasant year-round weather. If you haven't been to Montage, it's definitely worth going at sunset so you can enjoy a cocktail on the terrace and take in the surroundings and the amazing light as the sun sets and casts light across the oaks and the vineyard. It's also, to be honest, it's the cheapest way to afford, to hang out in the lovely surroundings. As with the hotel, nothing about the 11,500 square foot spa has been left to chance. The spa is next to the main zero edge infinity pool and has a total of 11 treatment rooms, as well as a full service salon. I'm definitely not the person to ask about the spa services, but I can tell you that a 60-minute treatment is about $250 for a massage or for a facial. As with all Montage resorts, there are numerous other amenities which guests of the hotel or of the homes can take advantage of, from the dedicated family pool, the bocce courts, the bike rentals, the fitness center, pickleball. There is also a yoga garden. So that's the hotel. So next, let's talk about the harvest homes. The harvest homes are the pre-designed and built residences. And as I said, there are 25 of them in total, and they're now all sold. As you can see from the pictures, they are stunning. They're all 4-bed, 4.5-bath homes with over 4,500 square feet of living space, with an additional 1,000 square foot of outdoor space, which also includes a large plunge pool, as well as dining area with lounge and fire pit. One thing that I noticed when I've been touring these homes is just how close they are to each other. Each of the lots are only about 7,000 square feet, so when you're sitting on your balcony, you can definitely feel the presence of the neighbouring property. For a lot of you looking at properties between 5.5 and 7.5 million, this may put you off, but given how quickly these have sold, it's clearly a non-issue for a lot of people. And all the homeowners get access to dedicated residential staff that will, arrange personalised services such as housekeeping, maintenance, concierge, in-residence dining, childcare services, laundry, the list goes on. The entire experience is designed for people to jet in, enjoy Montage lifestyle, and not have to worry about anything. This doesn't come cheap though, at a cost of over $20,000 per year for the annual fees. I must confess, I was a little skeptical at the start as to how quickly these would actually sell at these price points, but I guess they just got their timing absolutely spot on. When you look at who is buying them, it's a very different profile from those buying at places like Mill District. Firstly, the buyers are from generally much further afield, with a large percentage from out of state, let alone out of the Bay Area. Perhaps this is not surprising when you think about the proposition. You're buying into Montage first and Healdsburg second. For many buyers, the thought process is, we want to buy a place at maybe the Four Seasons or Montage, and then it just so happens that there's a Montage property available in Healdsburg. Because of this, the appeal of the Harvest Homes is more about buying into the Montage brand and buying into the lifestyle rather than buying into Healdsburg and becoming part of the Healdsburg community. In that sense, it really doesn't matter that the properties are out of town. Another part of their appeal is that there is easy income potential from these properties to help, offset some of the running costs. So as with, all Montage properties, they can be put into the rental pool and monetized through the Montage rental program. The design of the homes even allows the main home to be rented, but with a separate locked off secondary primary bedroom for the owners that they can enjoy, even at the same time if they so wish. That being said, I can't imagine many people doing that having paid over $5 million for a place, but it does give you flexibility for people looking for some income flexibility. So now let's talk about the Montage home sites. These are different from the residences in as much as you're buying a piece of dirt on which to build a custom home. There are two phases, with the estate home site south being the first phase with 15 home sites, and then the estate home sites north being the second phase with 26 home sites. The first home sites that were for sale all come with plans for, one of 5 different designs, all of which have a very modern aesthetic with, lots of glass, lots of steel, wood, concrete. The different designs have been matched up with the terrain of the different home sites to make the most of the views and make the most of how the home is situated on the lot. All of the designs have a minimum of 4 bedrooms and have large outdoor terraces with a pool and spa. There's no question that the designs are all absolutely beautifully crafted. The only design that isn't the classic modern angular design is Estate Home E, which has a contemporary barn aesthetic with large vaulted ceilings. The reality is that while all the lots do come with the full design plans for one or other of a number of different designs, my guess is that most buyers will develop their own plans either using the Montage design as a starting point or else starting from scratch. The benefit of using the plans that are provided are both a cost and a time saving. But it does definitely take away some of the creative experience of, following your passion to build your dream home. What is interesting is the fact that, these lots are targeted at people who are looking to build their own estate home, and yet the lots, like the Harvest Home lots, they're incredibly small, with most of them not being much bigger than 1/4 of an acre, or certainly at the very most, not bigger than 1/2 acre. Perhaps that is the reason why of the 13 lots that have been sold in the first phase, 5 of the buyers have actually purchased 2 lots each as a way to buy more space and privacy. To me, it makes perfect sense, but it does double the cost of buying the dirt on which to build your custom home. For example, if we look at lots 9 and 10, these have been purchased by the same couple who are looking to build a single home on both lots. The combined cost of these 2 lots is $3.55 million for a lot that's it's less than an acre. So if you consider that you shouldn't really spend more than 25% of the value of the finished home on a lot, then the home that's built would have to be valued at $14.5 million to have it make economic sense. I'm sure over time I'll be proved wrong, but right now I struggle to see someone paying $14.5 million for a home on less than an acre when you are right up against similar properties. But only time will tell. If you are going to spend $3 million on a lot, there are so many amazing options in Dry Creek Valley to build an estate home. The big difference is you wouldn't have access to the Montage brand and the amenities that come with it, which are clearly a huge draw for a lot of the people. But you would have, a lot more privacy and beautiful views of Dry Creek Valley, for example. It's also interesting to note that one of the lots has been purchased by Travelwell Holdings LLC, which sounds like it's being purchased as an investment property to be put into the Montage rental pool. When you consider that the Montage Hotel has a 3-bedroom and 460 square foot guest house, which is rented out as part of the hotel accommodation, and this rents for $15,000 per night. Perhaps building a dedicated home purely as a vacation rental business, is not such a bad idea. $105,000 for 1 week is not such a bad income. I'm less sure on how many takers there will be throughout the year, although I'm sure most of these are aimed at the corporate market for sure. In the second phase, there are 26 home sites which are being sold on the north side. The overall size and layout of these lots is very similar with the first phase, with basic sketches for suitable homes being sold with each one. Now that the first phase of lots has sold and homes are starting to go vertical, the developers obviously feel that they only now need to provide sketches rather than full plans for phase 2. There are some good lots in phase 2 for sure, but I also feel there are some lots that are definitely inferior to some of the lots in phase 1 because of some of the noise that you get from both the freeway and also Healdsburg recycling that sits just to the north of some of these lots. I know certainly when I was there one time, I heard the beep, beep, beep of a refuse truck reversing. That's not so great. It's like any investment in a home. It's really important to make sure you understand all the nuances, or more importantly, you work with an agent who knows an area inside out. So, is Montage Healdsburg a good investment? One of the reasons the Harvest homes have sold so quickly is because they're turnkey. They're available immediately, they're easy to lock up and leave, and also easy to monetize as a second, third or fourth home within the Montage rental program. But in 5 or 10 years' time, will these really have appreciated in price? If there is a choice, I feel that buyers looking to spend $5, $6, $7 million will want to buy something a bit more unique, and a home where you're not within touching distance of your neighbours. If you are looking to build a custom home on a lot that will cost close to $2 million, you'll need the home to be valued at about, a minimum of $8 million. If we look 10 years down the line, I feel those people who build a custom home in Montage will have a much better investment on their hands. It'll be a unique home with more privacy and space, and with all the amenities and benefits of the Harvest homes. The only challenge for investing in a custom home is that until all the lots are sold and the home's built, there'll always be buyers who want to build their own home rather buy a ready-made custom home. Plus the fact you are going to be living close to major construction for many years to come. So if it is a choice between buying a rural lot on the edge of town and building an estate property versus building a custom home in Montage, it's hard to say which would be the better long-term investment. There's no question there will always be a market for premium homes in a luxury development such as Montage. You only need to look at high-end resorts in places like Hawaii and Mexico to see custom homes in these communities. They can be an amazing investment in the long term. The appeal for these homes in the short term will definitely be a real test of the Montage brand, particularly in a place like Healdsburg, which already has such a strong ready-built community. The resort lifestyle, it's just not my thing, so I would much rather buy a killer lot in downtown Healdsburg or a beautiful 5 acres in Dry Creek Valley if I was going to build a custom home. However, if you always wanted to own a home in a resort like the Four Seasons or Montage, then I can't think of any better place to do it than Healdsburg. If you are thinking about investing in Montage, it's probably a good thing in the long term that the cookie cutter Harvest homes have sold out, because it means you get to create your own custom home, which will be better as a long-term investment. If you are considering your options for either buying or building a luxury property in Healdsburg, I can definitely help you think through the options and some of the pros and cons of building something versus buying something. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to get other videos like these. Until the next video, go well.